are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Horn. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Horn. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. Let's just say the boys are back in town.
She got away. You know what I say? She getting drunk, you don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just chillin'. We some drillin'.
I love it. Get the ammo and I stuck it on the top of rapid shots, on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it move, make it explode. Hit your nose, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes?
Whoa, hey, and we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby, and Tony is back in the building. What's going on, bro?
In the building, dude. We're surviving. Big Monday mood here, Tony.
And always, we don't even need to say his name anymore. He goes by Hello World. As we gear up for the playoffs, we are going to start in the world of the National Basketball Association.
LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
And as Mike just said, the playoffs are here. And tomorrow we're going to start with the play-in tournament, which to my dismay, despite obviously, the Lakers having to go through it, but just in general, something that I don't think needs to be part of the league. And I know it was brought in to make up for some revenue loss. I would imagine next year it'll be gone.
Hopefully it is. It's so stupid.
Can we go over the format? Because Mike, I was even asking Mike, he's like,
Can you explain who is like when the 7-8 wins and 8-9
9 and 10.
Yeah. So it's all one game for the first part of it. 7 plays 8, 9 versus 10. The winner of 7-8 gets the 7 seed. Winner of 9-10 plays the loser of the 7-8. And the higher seed in that matchup for the next leg of it, if they win one game, they advance. The lower seed has to win two to get that 8th seed.
Oh my God!
It's crazy. We've never seen anything like this. But hey, that's what we have. So obviously, we'll cover it. And you look at the Eastern Conference side of this, you're going to have the Hornets, the 9 seed versus the Pacers. Or is it the other way around? But anyway, the Pacers, and then we also have the Wizards versus the Celtics. You look at these matchups. Nothing too exciting. What's your thoughts here, Mike, on who you see coming out of these games?
It's tough because we like the Hornets, right? I'd say. Mm-hmm. I think the Wizards are definitely winning this. Celtics are. You think the Celtics aren't?
I still think they're probably a better team.
I don't know. I just think without Jaylen Brown, it's going to be just too much. I think this is a game. This is a series or game, I should say, where it's like this. The better team, if you have more stars, you're going to win this game.
Yeah.
And that's a sad truth. And the Wizards are hot. They've rallied to get in here. Bradley Beal's back in the playoffs. I'm sure he's hyped about that. Westbrook's back, and they want to prove that too. And then I'm going to go Pacers. No, I don't know. It's tough.
I know what you mean though there, because I kind of think Pacers, but it's like we've been saying this all season and then it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I do think the Hornets are very inconsistent, albeit they had a nice season.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but I'm gonna say we're gonna get the Pacers, and I'm gonna go with the Celtics. So then we would have the Pacers versus Wizards for the 8th seed and the right to play the 76ers. So. Be interesting to see, with the 2 of those games tomorrow. And then when we go out west, a little more excitement there. We have the 9-10 between the Spurs and the Grizzlies. And I think, we've kind of talked about this for a while. The Spurs have really been fading. So Grizzlies, haven't been too consistent, but I think they're a better team. So Mike's got the Spurs. So we'll see, what happens there. Any thoughts there, Tony? I mean, don't go against Popovich.
I mean, dude, I would go Grizzlies just because, first of all, Mike is always wrong with you all the time. And also, like, even for someone who doesn't really watch basketball that much, I've heard how terrible the Spurs are. I feel like this season.
Yeah. No, it's one of those things like, where is it?
Right.
I've been waiting for it. So I'm kind of with you there. And really, the most exciting part of this whole play-in tournament, I don't even think this is going to be a close game, but, you have a lot of star power.
I know, on the Golden State end.
We got the Lakers and the Warriors. Obviously, Steph's been hot. I think the Warriors obviously have been hot, too. I think they won 15 out of 20 to close the year. But these teams have played this year. I mean, I think the Lakers were up 40 at halftime in one of the games. So
no kidding.
It's just one of those things, we're going to overvalue Curry because, we see all of his top 10 plays on Sports Center, the big games, but the rest of the team isn't any good. And I think that's where it kind of gets lost in transition here.
So you think it's a whole lot of hoopla?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
hoorah.
Lakers easily by 10. I mean, that's being very conservative. Honestly.
Dude, honestly, I don't know. I saw an interview this morning with LeBron, and he was talking about how good Steph has been, and he seems a little nervous, dude.
No, that's just
just
to hype him up and then just slam it in his face.
Oh, wow.
And Mike knows that. Mike 100% knows that. He's talking him up, and then he just wants to take him down.
Mike's looking on his face
He's
right now.
He's cheesing. Let's just say. Let's get the camera over there. He's cheesing.
I have a feeling that this is going to be a closer game than you think, and it might go down to the wire, and you might be sweating at the end.
No.
But I think the Lakers do.
The Warriors aren't. It's not this year. It's about next year. It's about what happens when Klay comes back. This year there's just nothing there. I'm sorry,
this
but
is the success.
They're not built for this. So, so I think it's going to be Lakers getting that 7, and then I think the Warriors will dismantle the Grizzlies in the other game, and then we'll get Utah Warriors where we could. See an upset I think Curry, if he averages 50 points a game for the series, they beat the Jazz.
Honestly, yeah.
50 though. He
needs that historical like Wilt Chamberlain number playoff series.
And would this be if this happened, like if they beat the Jazz and then the Lakers beat the Suns, has that ever happened before? Like where the 1 and 2 lose in the first round?
I don't think so.
That would be historic. Even though we know the Lakers aren't really a 7 seed.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens over the next 2 days. And then when we look at the matchups that are already set. In the East, we do have Milwaukee versus Miami.
You're scared.
And we know
You're scared.
Mike's probably picking a sweep here for the Heat. We know that.
I'm a gentleman's.
A gentleman's. Oh, my God. Any Giannis thoughts here, Tony, versus the Heat?
I mean, dude, I think that guy's amazing, Mike. I think he's going to kill it, dude. I mean, I know
you think he's going to kill it?
You don't really believe in him as much, right?
I believe in him. I just don't think he's going to do it.
So you don't believe in him then?
No, I believe in him.
But you don't think he's going to do it.
Right.
You believe he's not going to do it.
I believe in him. I don't
Buck
believe
sweep?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to say Buck sweep as well.
You guys are crazy.
This hasn't been, your classic Miami Heat team this year. It just hasn't.
It's all right.
I think they're a little worn out from that deep run last year. So we'll see if they can keep it close. And then the other matchup, we have the New York Knicks returning to the playoffs, the 4 seed going against the Atlanta Hawks. So, Mike wanted this matchup.
I did.
He got this matchup. Yep. So what do you see happening here, bud?
I just like the way that sounds.
Oh.
But I see the Knicks coming out in 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because, people are actually sleeping on Atlanta. They, since Nate McMillan has taken over, I think they've only lost like 6 games to end the season. And especially since Trey's been back, we did beat them every game in the regular season, but one game Trey wasn't there, and then the next game he got hurt late in the third. So,
and we know the whole thing is, but just like with a bunch of other teams, talent is there, but it just hasn't really been put together on a consistent basis.
Yeah, and I don't even think they need to do a couple more things. I don't even think they're that good of a team, to be honest. But my New York Knicks are in the playoffs. We're hosting a playoff series. I think we got to have like a watch party.
Any increased capacity discussions?
I think, aren't there?
I don't think it's until July, though. Is when they go
off. So they're going to get beat on that. So probably we're still about 2K?
6. I think they get 6K.
Oh, yeah. No, it's been up since 2. Yeah,
6. Okay.
6, yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that's pretty solid, though. You don't make a lot of noise in 6.
And the Knicks have been, like, pretty good at home.
They have been.
Too.
So that'll be exciting. Any chance you think they go down first round, Tony?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think Mike for once, it gave an honest, accurate answer here, and I think 6 games is a good
once. Yeah,
for once.
That's,
For once.
as a good of a compliment Barnes is going to give you.
I
dude.
know. Hey guys, don't ever get Barnes Sutter on what's the greatest sport when you're out with him.
Yeah.
Well,
And don't mention the team Red
I
Sox.
know
Yeah.
Tony's got my.
Yeah, I was there, dude.
And then we'll go out west here. We do have the Denver Nuggets versus the Portland Trailblazers, and Denver obviously wanted this matchup. They completely blew the game purposely yesterday.
What do you smell, Mike?
And we know Mike thinks the Blazers, they're crazy. It's Carmelo, it's Lillard. What Blazers gentleman sweep for this one?
Upset? No, 7 games.
7. Wow. Is it going to be another Lillard for the series?
Yes,
That would be sick.
Is that what you were smelling?
That's exactly what I was
You didn't
feeling.
clarify,
Well,
the
'cause-
viewers at home are wondering, is he making bacon behind the desk over there? What's going on, dude?
That would be crazy.
I know.
If I just pulled this and it was
Right? And it's like a little Foreman grill
Oh, that's
with
smart.
bacon.
Oh, that's what we need here.
Yeah, dude.
That would help everything.
I guess. It'd probably make it even hotter in here, but
Well, we're gonna get AC soon.
no, we're not, dude. It's
But,
a sick joke.
in looking at this matchup, I think again, because Portland, we know they always bring it, they always give a respectful effort, but I just think, being in the West, it's just tough, and they're just not good enough to make a deep run, and that's the problem. And I think Denver is just a better, deeper team.
Apparently,
and they have
Bull
the MVP,
starting.
on their team. I believe in Jokic, so I'm going to go with Denver here. What's your thoughts?
Dude, how could you not? I mean, we've seen what Jokic could do on his own, So I mean,
just
how do you not
1 on
go with
5.
Denver? Literally 1 on 5. There's
Yeah.
no one else
So,
helping him out. at all.
but I think it'll be a fun, entertaining, a lot of high scoring and a lot of star power. Obviously, we'll see some big games, maybe some historic games.
I don't know.
from
I
some
could
of these
see,
guys.
dude, this Denver team, it could kind of be like that Dallas team that was the first seed, always top seed, didn't ever make it through until 2010, basically. They kind of remind me of that.
I don't know. I just think, you can't
Until they start playing bull, then I will not think that they will win.
What Jokic does, and Porter Jr. He's had a great year, but he could really take his game to the next level in these playoffs. He's dropping 25 a game and averaging 10 boards, 7 assists or something
We'll
like that.
see about that.
And then how about this? A rematch of the first round last year, the Clippers, the Mavericks. It was 6 games last year, I believe.
Yeah, and remember KP got ejected in the second game, which they would have went up 2-0 on the Clippers.
Okay, and then he stubbed his toe and then missed
missed the rest of the series
Yeah.
basically, and this season.
What are your thoughts here? You think the seed, it's only a 4 or 5 matchup, but I have a feeling you think the Clippers are a lot better here.
Yeah, if Grosso's here, he'd break it down for you.
I don't know how Kawhi's not his favorite player of all time.
I know.
The way he talks about him, really.
I know. He does love him, but I did too, honestly, before all this fucking.
Before the laugh, basically. If you think about the timeline of everything, the laugh kind of started all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
this circus of Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. It was a funny thing, but anyway, I think the Clippers are obviously going to take this. I think they're a little different this year than last year. And dude, they got Rondo. That's a huge piece, and it. Being able to reap his benefits last season, what he did for the Lakers when LeBron wasn't playing and orchestrating the defense and just keeping the ball moving. But Clippers for me.
Dallas in 5.
It's the tone.
Ty Lue, 1 and done. Mark Jackson in his coach. Paul George traded. You heard it first here. Can you even follow that up, Tony? Is there anything to
Tony
say
doesn't
there?
even. Tony, you know what? Have you ever seen that the Hangover meme where he's like this and he's got his glasses and he's counting math or whatever? That's
when he's counting cards.
counting cards.
Yeah,
that was Tony right now after what you just said. He doesn't even understand what's going on.
Doesn't matter, dude. It's irrelevant.
You think the Mavs got it for Gino's sake? Or?
Yes, I mean, dude. I mean, I
Yes.
think I side with Dallas all the time because of Gino. I'm gonna keep. I'll stay with
But
Dallas.
right,
dude.
in sports, is there room for the prima donna like Kawhi?
Dude.
He's entitled to everything.
Never.
We want
bro.
a Jacob DeGrom carrying
Exactly,
himself the right
dude.
way,
Especially
all himself.
in basketball, which is
Right.
obviously a team oriented
Right.
sport.
But
like
Kawhi is all about
himself. Yeah,
It's
no,
all
definitely.
about him.
And you can't have that. There's no room for ego on the court.
Absolutely not.
I mean, he has 3 championships, so
Yeah. So do you, dude.
And then,
yeah.
real quick here, Mike, I want, based on the matchups we see now, what's possible, what's not, updated conference final and NBA final picks.
Conference finals. I gotta see.
So basically,
Just lay out real
if we're chalk, we got 1, 4, 2, 3 in the second round but obviously we're thinking the Lakers. So
Obviously.
So then they would play the
Tell you right
Nuggets unless the Blazers win. So there we go.
Oh. The people have fallen silent.
I'll tell you right now.
Tell me right now.
For my East, Philly versus Brooklyn. Barring no injury, Philly will be your Eastern Conference champions.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. And in the West, I have Lakers. I have Lakers, Clippers in a battle. 7. And that laugh will be haunting Barnes for a very long time. And then I have your NBA champions, the Philadelphia 76ers.
Wow.
Wow, dude.
Wow.
Where's Grasso when you need him?
So this is kind of interesting for me. The way that this sets up, is really
Mic
not going to
drop.
be in the
All right,
West the best two
actually a
teams,
pencil.
but it's just bad matchups, for the Suns and the Nuggets here. So we are going to go with the Jazz versus the Lakers. Lakers sweep them. And then on the East, we are going to get the 76ers and the Bucks. So the Nets don't make the conference finals. I would say halfway through the first round, Kyrie is going to leave and not come back.
I knew you were going to
he's
say
not
that.
focused. And that's what he said. And the thing that the issue I have here is there's nothing wrong with, being for good causes, wanting to help the community. But at the same time, you can do that and not disrespect your team.
Right.
Imagine a football player. Imagine Patrick Mahomes going, I'm not really focused on this upcoming season. They just gave him a $450 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's just secondary right now. You can't say that. Who has said that ever in any sport?
I want to say no one, dude.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Mike, and that just that specifically is insane. Doesn't matter what the justification is.
I mean,
just leave. You know what I mean? Then don't play. This is your job. You're acting like
know.
it's not your job.
Right.
It's
I know.
You're acting like it's not a privilege.
yeah. I know.
Ooh.
Kyrie is very crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to say to that.
Is it just me, or is it like you have a hard time believing, especially maybe the Durant and
I just think
Harden aren't mad, but the other guys on the team, how could they not have an issue with him?
I could see Durant not having an issue, but I could see Harden having an issue.
Harden is tight.
He's probably like, dude, can we trade him and get like pieces for him?
No, and imagine the Nets. They just gave him this max contract, and then you're paying a guy that said he's not
Focus on the playoffs.
And you know what I mean? And then he gets all mad at people like having an issue with it, but it's just like no one's making you play.
Yeah,
You're deciding
right.
to play.
I know.
I don't know where the other side of that.
I just think
conversation
even
is.
if he does leave, I think they're better. Well, I mean, that's a lie. They're not better without him. But you know what I mean? I think the offense will be all those other players will have, way more opportunities to just touch the ball. And you've seen what happens to role players when they get going on offense, just to touch it. They play harder on defense and those shots start falling. So, and James Harden and Kevin Durant are like that elite. I think that if they clicked on all right cylinders, they could push it to the finals easily.
But you do have to agree. I mean, I'm not doubting their talent, but they are just kind of like skipping the hard work here and just saying, yeah, we're just going to chill for the season and then just turn it on and be champions.
What if they do, though?
When they didn't grind
What
it
if
out?
they do, though?
They're not.
What I'm just saying,
Who's done that?
hypothetically,
Who did it? Ever.
I think all those LeBron-led teams did.
Yeah, when they were winning 20 games in a row in Miami. Come on. It's a joke.
They went on a nice little streak.
It is a joke, and you know it, dude. No one's done this in any sport. Imagine baseball. Like, DeGrom's going to make 10 starts this year. We want to be fresh for the playoffs.
No, it makes sense. But also, I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe you underestimate the Nets a little bit.
A little.
Because obviously when I was in for you hosting, I was channeling my inner Barnes during the NBA segments.
Yeah.
And I was going on about the prima donnas from the Nets, how they're going to think they're going to not play in the regular season and then think they're going to kill it in the playoffs.
You said that.
But the game that Harden came back, I mean, it looked like he never left.
I know.
They looked really good, dude.
And the last game in the season, they made the play of the year.
It never happened. Like,
they ended the season with the play of the year,
you
Barnes.
never know, dude.
Blake Griffin, spin pass behind the back.
Blake Griffin was pretty good, dude.
To Mike James. Mike James off the glass to KD. Play of the year.
I heard he's going to try and dunk over 2 Kias.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
He can't even dunk over a tire anymore.
He can't even, dude, the hood.
What I think is going to happen here, they're going to have, it's going to be an easy breeze in the first round with the Celtics because Jaylen Brown's out and, it's not going to be as hard as it would have been. And then they're going to get to the second round, and it's going to be a huge awakening call. First game, the Bucks are going to win by 20 points, and just Kyrie's going to be up in the stands somewhere by halftime.
Oh man,
and I'm sorry, but that's just
dude. He's got to get it together.
Remember when he did when you lay
the
sage on the Celtics court?
Is there anything in his contract that is if he keeps acting up like this, they can just kind of
they have to have something.
There's probably a game minimum, right, in a season.
He's almost like the Antonio Brown of basketball at this point.
I know. He did hit 90, 50, 40.
I feel like even Antonio Brown was dropped from teams.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. He's literally just spitting on the faces of the league and just saying, I can do what I want. I'm Kyrie. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So hey,
he's crazy, woke.
Dude.
We will see. And I actually that I got on this tangent, I didn't even realize. I didn't even say who I had.
Yeah, so it's Jazz, Lakers, Sixers,
West.
Bucks.
And then it's Bucks, Lakers, and it's your defending champions repeating. It's LeBron, number 5, and it's Michael Theophil. Sit down.
Wow. I'm keeping our picks. I'm keeping our picks.
Yeah, keep them.
Yeah, I will.
So, hey, we're looking forward to the playoffs. And
wait, Tony, what about Tony?
Nice, dude. I don't think any picks.
And why not, dude?
Quick finals.
He said quick.
Quick finals.
You don't get time to talk.
I would say the Nets beat Philly. Okay. And then I guess the Lakers make it. Sure, why not, dude? As much as I hate to say it, I mean, LeBron obviously is, if they stay healthy, of course, I guess I'll pick the Lakers to win, dude.
Wow.
I side with Barnes over here.
Let's
do it, dude.
And that's
Sit down.
That's a good segue into the best part of the show, the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving Jason Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
So the weekend that was in the majors, and the Yankees, while the result yesterday, was a loss, obviously disappointing. They do take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles, and I know this probably comes to mind, when we're talking about this series. I said I wanted 15 runs.
Right.
We got 18. So They won 2 out of 3. I said that's the minimum you have.
2 out of 3.
All in all, you have to feel good. Judge is on a tear.
Oh my God, dude!
In this series, 6 for 10, 4 homers, including 1 yesterday, 2 for 3. So the offense, you scored 6 runs yesterday. I mean, it was probably the first game of the season where they lost a game because of their pitching. I mean, 10 runs, the Orioles. It doesn't look good, but hey, it happens, and you feel good that the offense was there. So it doesn't take away from the feel, of this series. You win another series. I think it's the 5th series in a row. So I think it's something like if you win 2 out of 3, you win like over 100 games.
Oh yeah,
it's like 104 or something every time. And I think a lot of people honestly devalue that the importance of winning series.
Right. No, I guess I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, if they see a loss, they're like,
all
dude,
good
you
feelings.
didn't sweep.
Like I said, Monty yesterday struggled 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned, 2 walks, 4 Ks. After having an early lead, I think they were up 5-1. Sanchez homered in the first, 1 for 4, 2 RBI. So he's been picking it up a little bit. And nice to see Clint Frazier go 2 for 4, hit a homer. And then, you look at the rest of the weekend. Friday was exciting. They get off to a tough start. Kluber, we expected, to have a big game. He struggled, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. Gets the win because of a Gio Urshela pinch hit 3-run homer on Friday. That was exciting.
You have to see some clutch offense, especially from the Yankees at this point,
Yeah. And don't you feel like just kind of almost nationally, not to say, of course he's not the best third baseman in baseball, but it's like, I think Urshela is underrated, like just everything he brings to the table.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, along with obviously being a good offensive tool, finally, like he's a great defensive player.
The plays he makes,
unbelievable.
They look so routine, so smooth. It's just a compact throwing motion. I mean, it's just what you like to see in an era where we're not focusing on defense. To see someone kind of take it to the next level is good. And you wanted to win that game there. To start in a loss in this series, just wouldn't have been a good feel. So Kluber gets away with it, gets the win. And then on Saturday, Herman, with another good outing, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. They get the win. I think it was an 8-1 final. So, they really kind of won decisively. So, you felt good about that. But then they did get some injury news. Hicks, I've never heard this term. He has torn sheathing in his wrists.
I don't know what that is.
And they're saying surgery potentially. Going to try to rehab it for now, but boy, does that 7-year, $70 million extension look pretty bad.
I know, dude. That's pretty tough now, especially with you mentioned who they're going to replace him with in the outfield. And
speaking of that, oh my God, do we really have to go service time again?
I guess it seems like it, dude.
They have to replace him on the roster, and he started yesterday. They call up Ryan Lamare, who is a 32-year-old journeyman, 232 career hitter, 616 OPS. And he gets the call up over Florial and Dominguez, who have been tearing it up in the minors.
Right.
What are they doing?
I don't know, dude. I was reading up on it, and I think Florial just got brought up, to the name of the team, AAA, whatever the team is. Scranton, yeah. So I think he has to play a minimum of a week there or something like that before they can bring him up to the majors. So I don't know, maybe they're gonna eventually bring him up. But it's weird because they brought up this guy Ryan, right? And apparently they were saying how he can play anywhere in the outfield, all three outfield positions. And honestly, I think back to get rid of Talkman, honestly. Because he also could play all 3 positions, and I think they kind of got rid of him a little too early. I know you kind of mentioned that the last time, but obviously that's old news now. But
maybe they are planning on bringing up Florial after that week-long thing. But it was just funny. This is the type of stuff that I just can't take. So this was a tweet. Jack Curry, he does the pre and post game for the Yankees on Yes. So this was his tweet. Cashman once explained a reluctance to call up a younger player by basically saying, I'm not going to rush a player and ask him to do something he's not ready to solve one of our problems up here. That's not fair to the player. That logic applies to Florial. And my tweet was, where's the logic? Hicks is hurt and Gardy sucks.
Right.
I mean, it's that simple.
And also, did Florial say he's not ready? I would think, given the opportunity, why wouldn't he come up to the big leagues? He looks ready. I would think that he feels ready. So what does that even mean?
It's just, you know what it is? It's like crossing sports here, but it's like in football when you draft your franchise quarterback in the first round and they just like have this need to start like this journeyman for the first couple games. Why? Just get him out there. It's not like, experience is what you need. And like, if there's going to be some lumps in the beginning, wouldn't you rather just get him out of the way and then down the stretch, you can count on him.
Exactly.
It's so frustrating. And
I feel like the longer he's not brought up, there's going to be more buzz around him, kind of more pressure for him to perform if he does eventually gets brought up. So like you said, bring him up now. Let him, shake out whatever he needs to shake out to be in the majors. And I mean, the guy's a stud, dude. He's killing it.
And it just stings more because besides having this Lamar guy on the roster, you have Gardy, of course, who we've talked about, and then you have Mike Ford, who's not even batting 100. I mean, it's like, is this even a conversation?
Yeah,
about him being on the roster?
I don't know. It's very odd, very odd.
But
like we said, maybe they'll bring up Forial in a week.
And then Odor, I guess, is going to return soon. So obviously he could take Ford's roster spot. So you feel good if they add those two guys. I mean, obviously overall you feel good. I think their last 24 games, they're 17-7, best record in the majors. So everything, is good. And you like to see some more offense in this Orioles series. So that was good. And then you have a 4-game series with Texas. So that's another spot where you feel like you can take advantage. I mean, we should really see some balls fly out of that ballpark with, all of their power hitters.
Definitely.
And a couple that are on the Rangers. So it will start tonight, 8:05 start time. And we have Garrett Cole versus Jordan Lyles. So it seems like we've had a lot of these recently where we look at the pitching matchup and it's just
very
such a
lopsided.
mismatch.
Yes.
I mean, it's not even close. This is a game you would honestly hope to win, 10-3. Honestly, I mean, Lyles nothing to the table. Cole, I mean, really has been the living legend this season.
Right.
Having the best pitching year other than DeGrom, I would say, in the majors.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What he's done. So, you look, it's 3 out of 4 here. I mean, a sweep would be great, but
of course
3 out of 4 is
right.
great.
You want to think realistically here, but I mean, I think, this Jordan Lyles, dude, for the Rangers. I mean, I think he had besides his last start, before that, he had 6 straight starts of giving up at least 3 runs.
Yeah.
6 straight starts. I mean, the guy's been struggling, and, you would think that the Yankees lineup can put on a little bit of a clinic here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And, it'd be interesting. I haven't heard any news yet today. Stanton missed the series over the weekend with quad tightness. So here we go again. But, I mean, we never know because obviously, we all get very annoyed the way Yankees handle injuries with Stanton and Judge. But it seems like it's a minor thing that they're being extra cautious with and probably thinking, the Orioles will win the series anyway type of thing.
Right.
So you'd hope that he at least plays, a couple of these games here in Texas.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, especially now, given that opportunity, if it is not as serious as they're saying, I mean, why not?
Yeah, and it would just be a nice spot. I mean, the way, he hits the ball in Texas with the ball carrying.
Right.
I mean,
he
could hit 5 home runs in these 4 games if he plays every one. So, it'll just be interesting to see, how everything plays out. But all in all, I have to say, I feel like, the team is in a good place and I'm good with where they are. And it's just about, winning these series and just improving. And that's really the key here. And then, there'll be some pitching decisions, to be made once Severino's healthy. Which I would expect to be, around maybe the beginning of July. And I think what's big too is tomorrow, what is Tyone going to give you? And I'm all about him, but I kind of think honestly in that stadium he might get hammered.
You think so?
You kind of think
hammered? Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think maybe he would kind of pull out a good outing, but I mean, yeah, it's tough, dude.
And I'm not trying to talk against my guys, but it's just what I've seen. I'm just very discouraged. I mean, a 5.40 ERA, and here we are, and we're more than halfway through May.
Yeah, so obviously not ideal here, but
yeah,
I know, dude. In Texas.
But the thing is, I mean, we definitely have seen guys turn it around, and you look at the box score. I mean, it's not like every game is 5-6 earned, but it's just. There's no really clean starts, and that's the most frustrating part about this whole thing with them.
Yeah, I don't know. You think it's more of a nerves thing, or
it could be. I mean, he's missed a lot of time, but it's like you would think, wouldn't it calm him down when he has these innings where he strikes out the side, or
Right.
he starts where he's striking out 9 guys? Like, but it's just like something about just finishing is just hard for him. And maybe, that's a product of being out of the game for so long.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. And you would think hopefully, I guess together soon.
Yeah. So, I mean, tomorrow's going to be big, and hopefully he has a good start. I mean, he's obviously due for one, but it's just, this Texas team, I think they're 7 under 500. So it is a good spot just opponent-wise. So we'll see, what happens.
Yeah.
And then, we'll move across town and talk about the New York Mets and the weekend that was here. I'm going to just say it. I think Tony's tight, and I'll let you kind of, just hash it out here.
Dude, Tony's tight from the weekend, bro. I got to talk about Peterson. Obviously, you got to start off with that. Friday, he gives us the outing you need, dude. 7 1/3 innings, dude. Gives up 4 hits, only 2 earned runs, only 2 batters walked, 9 strikeouts. Like we talked about it, like there's eyes on him with DeGrom, not being in the rotation right now. He needs a big performance here, and he gives you that. And the bullpen just drops the ball hard. And much like the Yankees, for the first time this season, I think our bullpen kind of lost us a game. I don't know what happened. Trevor May looked sluggish out there, dude. I think normally his fastball was like 96. I think he was clocking in like 92, 93. I don't know what it was. I know he pitched the night before too, so I don't know. He just looked tired. And then Castro too was just. I think he walked. I think he had the first 5 pitches were balls, so he was struggling with location, and they lost it, dude. It was tough. It was really tough watching that game. And then on top of that, Saturday. Again, dude, like we played the bullpen game, obviously with DeGrom not being there. And it just didn't work again. Like our bullpen just didn't come up to play, dude. We had Smith come up from the minors. He did all right. It was his first outing. He had two innings. He lasted 3 strikeouts. But then we throw Chesty in there. Doesn't get through 2. Gives up 4 earned runs. Opens up the game for the Rays, dude. And then Reed Foley looked all right. He let up another run though. And then we have Barnes and Fanilli comes in at the end. Lets up 3 runs each, dude.
Oh my God.
It was not good. The pitching was not good. And then to boot on Sunday, at this point, dude, our team is so riddled with injuries. Both McNeil and Conforto leave with hamstring issues. Both of them for jogging to first.
They kind of remind you of Juan Lagares.
Oh my God, dude. And dude, the best is McNeil after the game was like, yeah, man, like I think I got dehydrated and I cramped up. Like what? You tell me you didn't drink enough water?
Oh my God.
Like what are you doing all day, bro? Your job before a game is to sit around and get ready for the game.
I think he was out with Kyrie the night before.
It must be, dude. Having some type of sage party somewhere. I don't even know what they're like. Come on, man. So at this point, dude, like, we're basically fielding the Syracuse Mets right now, dude. Like, honestly, I think we had 1 guy on our bench, and at this point, dude, it's a little worrisome, we have a lot of injuries. Granted, a lot of our bench players have come up big, like VR and Pilar and even Peralta, Peraza, rather, sorry. But it's like how much more could we ask of them at that point,
Yeah. So did they announce, though, is it IL for both of them? Or they didn't?
Not yet. They didn't announce anything yet.
Are you kind of thinking?
Yes, I am thinking that.
Because hamstrings are just tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just kind of look at this numbers wise. There's 3 separate things that stand out here. First of all, we talked about Peterson, and we were talking about this on Saturday. Mm-hmm. In a game 2 where he retires 15 in a row.
15 in a row, dude.
The game 15 in a row. That was the guy we've seen, at the beginning of the year having these dominant starts. So that was encouraging. That was probably the most encouraging part of the whole weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that stood out to me. But then you just look at some other things. So in these 3 games, they were outscored 22-8. So to give up 22 runs to the Rays, who haven't even been scoring a lot of runs in the first place, that's tough. And then yesterday, 2 for 29 at the plate. 2 for 29.
Brutal, dude.
That's you couldn't try to do worse.
No, literally. Our bats were nowhere to be found. On top of that, I mean, we know Tampa Bay, they do have hitters, right? But they just weren't hitting this year at all. And it just so happens that they picked the series against the Mets to kind of pick it up. I mean, they have good play. Rosarina, G-Man was doing pretty well. Austin Meadows, Brendan Lau, Margot, like Wendell.
Guys
these are all
just haven't been doing
all guys that haven't doing well. But I mean, we know they. I guess at some point later, sooner or later, they were going to pop off, and it just so happens to be this weekend. And on top of that, the Mets struggled, on the mound, behind the plate, with injuries, almost in every way they could have struggled. They struggled.
Yeah, and I mean, I just didn't see Stroman putting together that type of performance. 3 homers allowed, 5 earned over 6.
I know, and even he said, he looked like he was sluggish as well, and he even said it after the game, like he just didn't have it tonight.
And this should be an opponent. I mean, of course, the players are always changing, but he's faced the Rays a ton, pitching the American League.
I don't know if maybe they were out in Tampa, a couple of nights or something, dude, because I don't know if you saw when they got to Tampa, they were all in their beach wear, Bahama shirts and the pastel colors and the sandals, looking all good.
No, and the thing is, we never think about these things, but I mean, hey, besides the series the other, a week or two ago, the Yankees always struggle in Tampa. So I don't know. Maybe it is the nightlife.
Yeah, maybe it is.
You never really think about that because obviously we're just thinking about what we see on the field. But my question to you, they start their 3-game series in Atlanta tonight. I mean, where do they go from here? What's the plan?
I mean, obviously having a lot of bench players come up is going to be a little tough, like on what to expect from certain players. But I think at this point, dude, you have to expect. I mean, your 2 big offseason pickups to get a good amount, like a good, nice string of consistent good at-bats, And I'm talking about Lindor and McCann, dude. I mean, I think it's their time at this point to pick up the slack that we have from our injuries. And you have to see, especially when you're playing a team like the Braves, who have had, they have some hot batters and Freeman and Acuna. And then you're up against Max Fried tonight. I mean, that's a good match. He's a great pitcher, dude. I mean, I think he started off kind of slow.
Yeah, I think his ERA is not too good this year, but in general, he has a good arm. And Walker's had a great start to the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Walker's a great start, so you expect good quality start from him. I think last Wednesday he only allowed 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 walks in I think 7 innings against the Orioles. So I mean, he's coming off a good start. So, and. Dude, it's tough. I mean, like I said, we need Lindor and McCann to show up. I think as an offense, I think we average 3.6 runs per game, which I think is like the 4th lowest MLB. However, when we do get at least 3 runs, we're 17-5.
Right.
So I mean, that's obviously the goal to shoot for is to get 3 runs because it seems like it's working for us. And when we don't get at least 3 runs, we're 1-11.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's quite the difference.
Typical, if you don't score, you can't win, dude.
And there's no, highly touted, position player in the minors that they can bring up at this point.
At this point, not really, dude. No.
Yeah. So it's just you kind of have to work with what you have.
Yeah.
You mentioned Villar and Pilar playing well, so you need more contributions, like that. Kind of a random question here, but. Honestly, what stung more over the weekend? Peterson's outing getting wasted or seeing Kelnick go deep for the first time?
Oh, dude. I mean, it's tough, dude. I gotta say Kelnick, I guess, right?
Dude.
Oh, my God. He's so much hype coming up. I think his first game, too, he was like 0 for 3 or 0 for 4. And I was like, maybe it's going to kind of, not sting so much. And he just goes deep the other night, dude. Which I mean, you got to be happy for him, but I mean, Jesus Christ, dude! Like,
it's just one of those things. It's just like, where was the common sense in that type of deal? You know what I mean? As good as Diaz was that one season, but if the guy is a franchise, like, why?
I know.
Especially to take on Cano,
and then Cano, who's not even playing this season, like, you
think that there's going to be a buyout in the offseason with him? I kind of think.
I would think so, dude. It's the second time with struggling with steroids, right? Yeah,
which is crazy. It doesn't seem like he's that old, but
I know, right? But whatever, dude.
So tough deal, but hey, you got to just bounce back, and this is an Atlanta series that's important. They're obviously a division rival. I think right now they're 19-21. They've struggled a little bit, right?
Yes, they struggled a little bit. They had a slow start for sure. They struggled with their bats as well.
Yeah,
but I mean, they're coming along. I mean, they're another team. They have great hitters. Whatever slump they're in, they're going to eventually get out of it. So, you would expect for them to kind of keep their momentum going that they have, especially against the Mets. And now we have Eugene Ganello with a comment of the day. Mets can start Bobby Bonilla with all the injuries.
And talking Bobby Bonilla, that's like the old version of talking about this Mariners Mets trade.
Right.
Like something that just really bites, really stings.
Totally bombed, dude. Thanks a lot, Gino.
I just feel like we keep going on this like realist road here, but this is another situation I think, right, where we're just looking for the 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Kind of right the ship situation.
Keep it easy, dude. Let's kind of reset here at the plate. And again, I think it's going to start with Lindor, man. He's our leadoff batter. Like, we're going to need a good outing from him. And like I said, string along some consistently good at bats between him and McCann. And I think, they can lift up all these other guys from,
And what about McCann? Maybe come around with the bat a little more. You've been a little tight.
Very tight, dude. I don't know what it is about him, but he just loves swinging at the first pitch he gets. And he grounds out almost every time, dude. Like, he's literally ground out candidate of the year, bro.
And then we got Wilson Ramos, I think, has 8 homers this year or something crazy. Yeah. I mean, obviously the defense has helped, of course,
right.
But still, I mean, it's just like there's a certain minimum requirement for offense, no matter what position.
Yeah, dude. I mean, granted, I don't think he hasn't given up a steal in his career, which is very impressive. I mean, he's defensively, he's a phenomenal catcher, but it's like, you're paid to play both sides of the ball here, so it's.
And speaking of catchers, what about what Yachty's doing this season? Have you seen his numbers with the Cardinals?
No, is it good?
Oh, I think he has 8 home runs already. He's off to his best start through this many games at this point in his career. He's playing every day. He's 38 years old. He threw out a runner. I was watching Sunday Night Baseball against the Padres last night, and the Padres swept the series. Right. Actually,
I was going to watch that, but Mike made me change it.
Oh, of course.
But
he gunned somebody down. I mean, it's just like catching is such a tough position to do it well at 38 years old. I mean,
it's very impressive.
And it's crazy. You don't really think about it, but they're talking on the broadcast. They were saying they think he's the best defensive catcher of all time.
Wow, dude.
And it's like, you know what I mean? You always knew he was a solid player, but
right.
And they're talking first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe 95% of the vote. And it's just like, I don't know. I never really thought of him that way. I knew he was good, but I never thought great, like kind of what the.
No, neither have I. And it's, I guess it's kind of goes to what you said before, whereas in this day of age, we don't focus on defense a lot, especially at the catcher's position. But, it is what it is. But, I mean, that's great to hear. 38?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
It's just a longevity type of thing.
Yeah, I could imagine what his knees feel like.
Oh, dude. God.
Rocks.
Mine hurt right now, sitting down.
And the thing that's funny, though, is we think his knees hurt. How bad do you think 41-year-old Albert Pujols' knees feel, who just signed with the Dodgers? Dude, what's your thoughts there?
I mean, you love it, dude. I mean, obviously this guy, talk about a living legend, dude. I mean, he's one of the greatest baseball players out there. And to kind of see him get dropped from the Angels was tough, dude, especially last year of his contract, right? And to see him get picked up by another team, though, I mean, that's great. You love to see that. You don't ever want to see a man's career, especially of a player of his caliber, kind of end on a low like that. So, you'd hope he gets with the Dodgers and, can play a little bit more.
What if he wins the World Series?
And then with the Seager injury, you move Muncy to second. Maybe Hernandez is short.
Right.
Pujols is playing
at first. And, dude, I mean, you look at his mentality. I mean, he wants to be an everyday player.
Right.
He doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to stop playing. So, I mean, you would think you get out there and give you all that he has. And, I mean, he's still a great player, dude. He's just obviously, like, I think at that point with the Angels, like with Ohtani being their DH and being so hot, exactly. So it's just, I guess it just wasn't really a fit at that point with the Angels.
Yeah, and I can guarantee this: when they play, their interleague series, Pujols is easily hitting a homer. I mean, there's no way
easily, dude. Right?
No way. He's going to do the Pujols stare, and I think he just wants to add a third ring to his collection.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the biggest reason to join the Dodgers and to stick it to the Angels, I'm sure, of course, too, because he knows they're not going to the playoffs. I mean, we know what happens with them. But Ohtani has been remarkable to start the season, though.
Oh, my God. Dude, literally, I think the other day, after he pitched, he started playing center field.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he homers and he starts. And it's nice.
95.
They weren't doing this before. Now he's actually batting when he pitches. They weren't.
Right. They weren't batting. It was just so
crazy.
stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's been really, really fun to watch Ohtani. Hopefully, the Angels get it together. But once again, I think they're last in the ERA. So it's here we go again. Last place in the division. I mean, you hate to see it because Trout, I think we all could say deserves better. And then we also have another stat here by Gino. Since 2005, when he came up, the Cardinals have the least stolen base attempts against them. I mean, that would make sense.
Wow. So they don't even want to steal anymore, dude.
And they what was funny too? They were showing on the broadcast. I forgot which player it was. It was a younger player on the Rays in spring training. He was actually like talking smack to Yachty, saying, "Oh, I'm stealing," and then he gunned him out, he was doing the.
Oh, you love to see.
They were showing on the broadcast. A-Rod getting all riled up.
Dude, there is nothing like throwing someone out second, dude.
Yeah.
No, there really isn't.
Done
really isn't, bro.
Former catcher myself in my little league days. So.
Dude, like what? Were we all former catchers?
All three of us were,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
Oh, dude. There's just something so like demoralizing to like a runner when he gets thrown out.
Oh,
second.
yeah.
Like it's just.
But then it got a little tougher when we moved the bases back. The longer throw. That's when we said, all right, maybe it's time to play the outfield. But. So I mean, as far as baseball goes, like we've been saying, some interesting, stuff to start the season, and a lot of stuff to play out. The Padres have been interesting. I mean, sweeping that series, all their guys are on the COVID list. I mean, Tatis, of course, he's the best player, and to do that against a Cardinals team who's been pretty competitive this year, I was impressed, to see that out of the Padres. So that was my World Series pick. And I think I'm still on target with the Yankees and the Padres, but we got a long time to go.
Yeah, certainly, dude.
I forgot. Do you remember who you picked?
I think I picked Dodgers, Blue Jays.
Yes, the Blue Jays.
Blue
Wow.
Jays.
All right. So
Sweeper.
the series of blue. You think they would call it that?
Yeah. I mean, at that point, why not, dude? We're gonna trademark that real quick, dude.
Now. And then just before we wrap up here, as I had mentioned last week, we did have the AT&T Byron Nelson and KH Lee wins the tournament 25 under par. Really just killed it. Started out with 265s to start his tournament, so he wins it. Jordan Spieth tied for 9th, 18 under par, but I think that's a good good tournament for him with a major coming up next week. You'll take another top 10 in what's been a comeback season for Jordan Spieth, and then is on to the PGA Championship this week, starting Thursday. Like I mentioned before, at Kiowa. Where Rory McIlroy won back in 2012. So beautiful course, by the ocean over there. So really looking forward to watching that and just to see, what's the storyline going to be. It seems like, it's not usually in between. It's either a guy who's won majors before wins the tournament, or it's a guy that, you almost have barely heard of or hasn't won a major before. Usually, it comes down to that. And technically, defending PGA champion is Colin Morikawa last year, in the fall, playing in San Francisco, but new course this year, so you don't really take too much stock into that. It's not like a tournament with the Masters where it's played at the same venue every year. So really looking forward to it, and enjoyed a nice golf weekend myself. Did slide in there with a 99 on Saturday, so we'll take it. Anything under 100 is good. So had another nice round yesterday, but good front nine. We were 47 on the front, but 54 on the back, of course, 101. But
doesn't have that longevity,
We're getting there. That's the key. We are getting there.
By the front nine, a couple White Claws,
and every day we're getting closer and closer to this match play situation. So I'm really
pumped.
For this.
I'm very pumped, dude. Does Gino want to be on the show, dude? Like, where's Gino today, dude?
Yeah, Gino said he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Appreciate the stats here, though.
Yeah, great stats by Gino here. But other than that, any final words, final thoughts?
I will say, I mean, even though the Mets got swept this weekend, they are still first in the NL East. So
hey, I mean, that's what happens when you win 6 in a row.
Exactly.
You have a little cushion,
just a hiccup, room. And we're gonna be back to work tonight, dude.
But and you look at these matchups tonight. I think this is gonna be a return to Yankees win, Mets win. Let's do this.
Fuck yeah, Tony. Boy, let's go.
And I'd like to thank all of you for joining us once again. Keep commenting, liking, subscribing. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.